Now at 6 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, the search for a missing fisherman from Port Lavaca now suspended.
Officials held the annual transportation conference, how the city plans to expand this evening.
And an Austin ISD police officer in stable condition after he was shot. What officials have to say.
We had some sunshine and then a few clouds rolled in, but nothing significant. We're waiting for not this front, but the one on the west coast to actually bring us back some chilly weather. We'll be talking about that coming up.
Plus, Victoria East and West had some first-team all-district selections. I'll have those names in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia. The Coast Guard has suspended the search for Felipe Lozano of Port Lavaca. Authorities reported he went missing this weekend on a shrimp boat in the Gulf of Mexico near New Orleans while working a commercial fishing boat. The captain reported the incident around 2 a.m. Saturday. It happened near Port John, where the Coast Guard had searched the area.
Cuero police took 17-year-old Jaden Garibay into custody Monday. Authorities say Garibay threatened two people with a gun over a piece of property he wanted. Garibay did not get the property. He does face 2 charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Garibay is in the DeWitt County Jail in lieu of $50,000 bond. Transportation is vital to a growing economy, and how it impacts the Crossroads economy was the goal of a conference held today. The South Texas Transportation Conference featured discussions on the progress of the Matagorda Bay Ship Channel expansion, Interstate 69 construction, and expanded child care. President of the Victoria Chamber of Commerce, Jeff Lyon, said the chamber is proud to host this conference each year, and they are already looking forward to next year.
We bring in different facets of people associated with transportation throughout the southern Texas area. And these kind of seminars and conferences that we do are very valuable to those that attend and those who are presenting.
This is the 10th year of the Chamber's South Texas Transportation Conference.
Victoria College's Adult Education Department received first place in a $75,000 grant in state adult education and literacy co-enrollment at the Texas Workforce Conference in Houston. This award recognizes VC for having the highest number of adult education students co-enrolled in workforce services.
And now let's take a look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez. Don, the weather outside is, in my opinion, quite refreshing, quite beautiful.
I was talking with a friend of ours in Wisconsin today, and she asked me what's the high temperature today, and said I said mid 70s, and she said, "Why did you tell me that?" And I said, "You asked."
You asked.
What's your high temperature in Wisconsin? 37.
Ooh,
yeah, we like it here, Mac.
Yeah,
that's right. That's one of our 47 reasons why we live here. You know, yeah, but it's becoming winter in many areas of the country. We're having a late start, and I'm going to tell you what I think for the next 2 weeks in terms of cold weather. We'll have that coming up. But the cloud deck was the only thing really, the fly in the ointment. That little frontal system right there is not going to be much of anything. It's that one that's going to bring back the chilly weather by this weekend, and we'll be talking about that coming up a little bit later on.
Mac, thank you. The destruction in Gaza has displaced nearly 1.7 million people.
Many are just children trying to escape the danger with their families. Their lives now forever changed by the war.
Yeah, we want to warn you, these images are extremely difficult to take in.
Bandaged and sore, still healing from emergency surgery. For 11-year-old Asif Abu Hadi, this wound is a constant reminder of the trauma he and his friends have faced. They had been playing outside near his home in Gaza City when they say an airstrike hit. I was walking with my friends and then suddenly the missile fell, Asif says. I found myself on the ground lying on my right side. I kept trying to stand up, but there was rubble on top of my leg. When they removed the rubble, I saw that my foot had been ripped off. A huge soccer fan, he played at the local academy and had dreams of becoming a professional soccer player. I've been watching and playing soccer since I was a little boy. It's still my favorite sport, Asif tells us. Now the Israeli occupation has destroyed my dreams. Down the hall is 12-year-old Malik Al-Kafarna. His family fled their home in Beit Hanun after receiving a warning from the Israeli military. They moved from city to city, searching for safety, followed each time by yet more airstrikes. I wanted to take photos, to become a photojournalist, Malik says. How can I hold a camera now with one arm? My whole life is ruined. All of my life, I haven't had a chance to live happily. Whilst some here are now slowly coming to terms with their new reality, more wounded children arrive at Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital every day. It is now the main working hospital in Gaza. Others left in a state of complete collapse. Just Monday, more wounded were rushed to this hospital after a UN-run school used to shelter displaced Palestinians at the Burej refugee camp was hit. The resulting death toll still unknown. It's unclear who was responsible for this specific attack. Hamas claims the Israeli military bombed the school, though CNN cannot independently verify this claim. The IDF yet to respond to CNN's request for comment. But as airstrikes and shelling intensify in the north, Gaza's children are, as is so often the case, paying the highest price. With thousands wounded or killed and hopes for the future lost. Nada Bashir, CNN in Jerusalem.
An Austin ISD police officer is in stable condition after being shot near Northeast Early College High School Tuesday morning. Officials told KVUE the officer was shot in a, quote, unprovoked way, unquote, where there had been no interaction between the officer and the suspect. Authorities confirmed the officer was shot in the leg. Officers are currently searching near the school for the suspect, who is considered armed and dangerous.
The state legislature ended its fourth special session this afternoon without taking action on some key bills the Senate had passed. The Texas Tribune reports Senate Bill 5 would spend $800 million on school safety measures through 2025. The failure to pass school vouchers also blocked funding that would have increased school funding and provided bonuses for teachers. The legislature has been in session 246 days this year, more than any other year since Texas became a state in 1845. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. You can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. Stay with us. Prosecutors say they have hard evidence against Donald Trump. Coming up on 25 News now at 6, how they tie him to the Capitol riots.
And Trump faces more legal trouble, this time a New York civil fraud case.
Hi, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department. Victoria Crime Stoppers is seeking information regarding a murder of Gerald Samuel Hadley. On August 23, 2002, at about 5:10 a.m., Victoria Police Department officers responded to Circle K at the 4400 block of North Navarro concerning a man down by the dumpster behind the location. The man was identified as 63-year-old Gerald Samuel Hadley. Hadley was a white male who was homeless and severely beaten. Hadley was transported to a local hospital for treatment. On July 14, 2003, after nearly a year in a coma, Hadley died as a result of the injuries he received during the aggravated assault. The charge at that time was upgraded to murder. If you have any information about Hadley's murder, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200 or submit a tip by using the P3 Tip app on your Android or Apple device, or by visiting our website at www.crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. With the Victoria Police Department, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs.
The defense no longer plans to call Eric Trump as a witness in the New York fraud case. Attorney Chris Kise says the team is streamlining its approach to the civil matter. Its remaining witnesses are former President Donald Trump and an accounting expert. The former president is expected to come to the court Thursday and testify on the stand next Monday.
And Justice Department prosecutors say they are planning to use former President Trump's embrace of the January 6 rioters against him at trial next year. In a court filing made public Tuesday, prosecutors point to Trump endorsing the Proud Boys during a 2020 presidential debate. They also cited Trump saying he would pardon January 6 rioters and played a recording of the national anthem from imprisoned January 6 defendants at a campaign rally. Trump has pleaded not guilty to charges of conspiracy and obstruction. Now, this week is National Influenza Vaccination Week. It runs from December 4th to December 8th, and health experts want to use this as a reminder for everyone to get their flu shot for protection during this flu season. So, of course, here is your viewer poll this evening. You can scan that QR code on your screen to vote. The question is, have you received your flu shot this year? Yes or no? You have? I have
Yes.
two. I have two. It looks like 86% of our viewers stand at yes and 14% of them stand at no. Thank you for voting. Join us tonight for 25 News Now at 10 for an update. And Mac, have you gotten your flu shot?
You know, I was in line to get it. But I was,
Those lines are long.
yeah, well, I was at the wrong place. And by the time I got to the head of the line, they go, "We're closed."
Oh, man.
Anyway, but I will be getting one, and I'm impressed that there was a significant amount of people getting it. We are looking at 62 degrees right about now. We managed to get up to 75 today. Isn't that great? 75, first week of December. It's going to stay on the nice side. That's above our seasonal 69. But then on Saturday, everything changes as the big chilly weather rolls back in. We'll have more details on that coming up right after this.
Navy veteran William Chapman is your military hero for the month of November. Chapman grew up in Texarkana, Arkansas, and after high school, he joined the service.
My dad, he was in the Marine Corps, and I know how he carried himself, and I said, no, that's too rough for me. So I picked the Navy.
He not only learned a lot, but he traveled a lot while in the Navy.
And traveled, went different places, and went to Vietnam, Okinawa, Japan, all of those places, Vietnam. And, you know, I enjoyed it while I was there. And, you know, seen a lot of people, you know, and I just enjoyed it. It was an experience for me.
He was stationed in Hawaii and was tasked with plane maintenance and delivery.
We carried different things in different places, like missiles, and like we had a squadron in different places. And if they ran out of an engine need a part or something like that, they would call us and let us know. Then we fly it up there to them.
After the military, he worked at the VA hospital in Kerrville for 10 years. While in Kerrville, he met his wife, Clara, but it took some time for them to finally hit it off.
Not having God completely in my life, I went about it the wrong way. She said, get out of my yard and stuff. Then I respect that. I said, oh man, I said, this woman got some backbone. This woman bold. So
William and Clara soon got married and then moved to Cuero, where they would raise a family with 6 children.
We got married, had 6 kids, and we moved to Cuero, and they grew up in Cuero. And thank God that we was blessed. They was blessed. They doing good now.
And you can't forget their cute fur baby puppy. Chapman would go from the service of the military to another type of service, the service of God.
Yes, I always had a calling in my life, and I know this, but how you said, run from it, want to get away from it, but I couldn't get away from it. So as time went on, and you know I had a calling in my life, and as time went on, it got stronger, it got stronger, and got stronger.
So he would go on to become a pastor located at 702 East Broadway in Cuero. You'll find Outreach for Souls Church, with services every Saturday at 10:30 and Bible study on Tuesdays at 6:30. He and his wife make a great team.
She helped me in my preaching, and I encourage her in her teaching.
He also would have a bout with a rare sickness but prevailed. The Chapmans now sharing their story.
I was attacked with Guillain-Barré, and that took a lot out of me. She helped me and stuff with the help of God. I came through this, and I'm doing good now, and still going forth in my ministry.
His nervous system just went out of whack. Started coming around in December of that year. And ever since then, he's been on the mend, and he's doing very well now. But I want the world to know that it was very serious. I almost lost him. He almost died. But God wasn't through with him. And he loves God with all his heart. He preached, and I teach. We teach the word.
William and Clara are passionate supporters of veterans too. Clara is sewing pillows for veterans in the hospital to show them they care.
And I would sew pillows according to whatever their status was in the service. And we would go in there and show them love, to let them know that there must be something special that we came there for, to see them. And after we would get through with them, they say, we didn't think nobody cared anything about us out there. They say, but since you're coming as far as you did and what you're doing, the love you're showing us, so now we know that the people care. And that's what we need to do. We need to let our servicemen know that we care.
William hoping that others like you at home can stay blessed.
Give him the glory, give him the thanks and the praises. So that's what I can say, and I hope it can touch somebody, and somebody can hear this and you know, make a right decision on their lives and what God can do for them like he did for me. You know, all hope is not gone. It's there.
So thank you, William, for your service to your country and community and being a pillar in the faith community in Cuero. Adam Seibel reporting in Cuero, KAVU TV 25 News Now.
Well, good evening, everyone. We had some nice sun, and then all of a sudden the cloud deck got a little bit thicker. You see that over the last couple of days, we've been getting that stream of Pacific moisture or subtropical moisture rolling up into our area, but no major problems. We have a little frontal system up in North Texas. That's a little bit of a dry line, but that's going to continue the abundant sunshine for the next couple of days. This is not a big front to deal with. The front we're going to be dealing with is this one. This is a strong storm system. This is a big Pacific storm centered out here. right about here we've got 40 to 50, 70-mile-an-hour winds howling and hitting the Alaskan coast and the Northwest. This is going to start with a high snow level, probably 8,000 feet, but then it's going to drop down to 4,000 feet, and that's when most of it will stick up there as snow. Then we follow the upper winds, and that will be rolling around into the Rockies and then eventually getting into the plains. We're protected from away from everything because this high pressure is going to be on top of us, and that is keeping everything away and allowing just the dry air to roll in, and that's all the way through Thursday and Friday. By the time we get to Saturday, though, high pressure will roll eastward. Storm will come out of the Rockies, and this will be the big dip that will create that frontal system that will come through our area. At this point in time, it doesn't look like there's going to be enough moisture here to actually trigger some good rain. But it will come with a line of showers on Saturday, and that's the only day you got to worry about anything. Overnight lows continue in the mid-40s, and daytime highs getting up into the 70s again for about 3 more days. And then Saturday, things start changing on us. If you get a chance to go do some fishing, well, it's in good shape. I'll tell you why. The winds that were out of the northeast have settled down to 5 to 10, so no major wind problems. Seas are lowering down to 2 feet. And bays are running smooth. So for tomorrow in Port Lavaca, getting down to 51 overnight and 66 the afternoon high, maybe 68. But they are looking for sunshine, and I call it mild weather for this time of year. Cuero, 46 in the morning and 68 in the afternoon with a little bit of sunshine and fairly light winds. So I consider this, really nice, mild weather, no major chill out there. So that's Wednesday, Thursday 74, Friday 76, because we're going to get a big strong wind out of the south when the front comes through. Front looks like it'll be here in the afternoon on Saturday. The shower activity, let's see, we start cloudy. Then the shower activity middle of the day, and then by evening, if you got a Christmas party or something, we're going to get a strong north wind blowing on Saturday night, and Sunday's high only 62 and 63 on Monday, so our lows will get down to almost the upper 30s. So that's your 7-day forecast, and now here's the big one. Get ready, write this down. We are looking, I believe, this is my long-term forecast, that we will not see freezing temperatures before Christmas. Okay, so we'll get cool 40s and 50s, but no freezing weather, and that's gonna help us out all the way through. That's your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. Karina.
Thank you, Mac. And now here's Zach with your sports.
Well, an injury to one of football's biggest stars may not be as serious as it seems. I'll have that in sports. For some local teams, the season may be done, but that doesn't mean we can't reminisce and talk about how good some athletes were individually, starting with the Victoria East Titans. And for some special awards, we've got Nigerel Prater, who is the Offensive Player of the Year in that district. Kason Coley, who is the Co-Offensive Newcomer of the Year. And on the defensive side of the ball, we've got Joe Soto, who is the Co-Defensive Player of the Year, and Caleb Alvarez, who is your Defensive Newcomer of the Year. The East Titans have a lot of first-team all-district selections by unanimous decision. Receiver Bryson Ortega makes it, along with running back Jaden Williams, receiver Ryan Steele, and Xavier Salazar, who is the Titan tight end. And for some love for the guys in the trenches, we've got tackle Traylon Harris and the center Mike Pena and Kason Coley, who makes it as a punter. They had 3 guys on the defensive side of the ball. Once again, unanimous selection, safety Bryson Ortega, along with Khalil Prater and corner Braylon Vasquez. Lots of names to get to on the east side, but the West Warriors, who nearly went 4 deep in the playoffs, have some names as well. The West Warriors were well set on both lines. Defensive line MVP is TK Rollins, and the offensive line MVP, Eric Bland. Take a look at the offense. Camden Repper is your first-team quarterback in a very tough district. Helps when you got a guy like Kamari Montgomery, who is also first-team all-district. And hey, to top it off, a guy that blocks for both, Hayden Michok, the guard, also makes the cut. Defensively, Jesus Avila Games gets in, and they had a great secondary with safety Noah Gertz and cornerback Gavin Wartzbaugh finishing off the selections for the West Warriors. We'll get to other teams as the week goes along, but last night the Jaguars and Bengals going at it in what had implications for so many teams in the hunt, including the Houston Texans in their chase for the South. A close game, but late in this one, Trevor Lawrence gets his ankle roll, knee bends weird. He's clearly frustrated, and he comes out of the game, and the Jags lose. Now for some positive news for Trevor Lawrence, that injury is only a high ankle sprain, and he is not projected to miss significant time. With the loss, the Houston Texans and the Colts, for that matter, just a game out of first place. About an hour ago, I left the Ganado Indians practice, and you will hear from them tonight at 10. Those guys excited to be playing in the state semifinals round. That game is Thursday at 7 p.m. in Shenandoah at Woodforest Bank Stadium. Timpson will be picked to win this game by most after seeing what they did against Refugio. Not smart to count the Indians out, and that will lead us to your viewer poll, and we are asking, what is your confidence level in the Ganado Indians to make it to state? And looking at what a lot of you guys have said, far more of you are extremely confident than not confident. Why would you not be confident after what they just did to maybe the best team in Class 2A in Refugio? That's it for your sports. Donna Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Zach. We're going to be back in a moment. A Minnesota sheriff's deputy risks his own life to save another.
Finally tonight, a Minneapolis sheriff's deputy received a major award for putting his own safety in jeopardy and saving another man's life. On June 17th, Deputy Chris Majewski found a crash. A wrong-way driver hit the road on top of a construction barrier, then struck a semi-truck. Majewski found the semi-driver was unconscious and all the fuel was leaking towards the fire. Majewski grabbed the unconscious truck driver, then dodged both speeding traffic and exploding debris and got the driver back to the squad car. Deputy Majewski, the father of 3, when asked about it, said he was just in the right place at the right time.
It's a real-life hero.
To save a life, yes.
Real life hero.
So now you've already said we're not going to have freezing temperatures before?
Yeah, I've looked at the computer models that we look at and did the extended thing, and I don't think that we'll get below freezing here in the Crossroads before Christmas. So yeah, we'll see some cooler weather. We'll get down, 50s and 60s, but at least we won't have any ice to deal with or any snowstorms to deal with as well. But that's all the way through Christmas. For the next couple of days, we got some mild weather in the 70s. Then Saturday is the frontal system that will give us a little bit of a chill. For Sunday, our high temperature only 62.
All right, thank you, Mac, and thanks for joining us.
We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.